The letter must be discussed by the House. It should be discussed by the House. It is not enough that the letter is sent. Even it can be taken that the letter is sent, the speaker is out of the state, and then you're saying the letter has been transmitted.
What about, because we had lawyers who said yesterday that, well, that there's actually, even the commissioner yesterday, the former commissioner now on information in Taraba said there's nowhere that is written in the law that he must, or the House of Assembly must discuss the letter before he resumes.
Well, I mean, that is going to be their own interpretation. I'm sure the drafters of the Constitution that says a letter must be transmitted were not actually envisaging a situation where you would have this kind of a process, you know, where letters will be transmitted, people would be behind that. But where it becomes a questionable fact, I mean, we've just seen Mr. Suntai. I mean, would you say it is enough if the man is actually dead in a room and then some people were transmitting letters on his behalf? Would it be sufficient for them to now say, oh, a letter has been transmitted, so the man is acting, whereas the man is actually not alive? No. And that is why the House is saying, no, we will have to discuss the letter. The man will have to come and address us.
Well, here's another member of the House of Assembly say, look, he has written the letter, he has fulfilled the obligations, and he has resumed.
This one you would also tell you that there's a breakdown of law and order. We know how
breakdown because a member of the Assembly
expresses his opinion. No, but he doesn't have the capacity to do that on behalf. He can do that in his own personal capacity. So if he's done that, he can't speak.
The majority, he doesn't have the capacity.
He's not in a position to speak for that. They have the chairman, House Committee on Information, just you have in all the parliaments, who speaks on behalf of the House, or the speaker speaks on behalf of the House. The role of the majority leader is not to go and speak on behalf of the House. So when you're seeing 7 members already constituting themselves, you know, and then speaking against the majority of the House, or not speaking for officially the House, then you have complete break law of the rule and order of that House. So where it is important that they step up on this issue and Nigeria rise in unison is to the extent that every stakeholder should play by the rule. And like I said, the House of Assembly at this point needs to now officially speak, and that they need to do within the next 24-48 hours. Otherwise, nobody can guarantee what happens in Taraba State.
But again, I think it looks like we're pushing this too far, because we asked that he addressed the people, which he finally did yesterday. As against your version, someone is saying that, well, it was as long as 5 minutes, and there was audio on that particular film report.
No, I'm sure that there will be let them show the clips to you. I mean, the former commissioner or the commissioner for information spoke with you yesterday. I'm sure if it's a picture or a video that is worthy of showing to the world, it should be on channels. It should be on NTA. NTA is not only in Taraba, NTA is everywhere. Let them show that. They can send us the video clips. You will see. I mean, if channels have that, probably I won't be able to assert. If channels is actually also based in Taraba State, your guys would have also been invited to come and also witness the situation, and then you have evidences to at least refute some of the things I'm saying.
I'm hoping the state government is watching. Channels didn't get an invitation from them. Perhaps all those saying the channels shouldn't sit down in Lagos. We have people out there. Perhaps if they extended that invitation, we should be able to get that clip.
Oh, I'm very happy for that. So I'm sure there are quite a number of other...
But now you say we still have an existing ESCO, so we should disregard the dissolution of this particular ESCO. So how do they constitute themselves and kickstart the Section 189?
Well, I mean, just like I said, the ESCO would also need to meet under the ESCO under the acting governor. The House is yet to direct the acting governor to revert back to the position of the deputy governor. And when that still subsists, it's still the acting governor who is in control of the ESCO until when he is invited by the governor to hand over. You need to hand, it's normal. If your MD goes on leave or vacation and somebody acts in his capacity, it's not just going to come back and say, I have resumed, without taking an account from whoever must have been administering the affair of the establishment on his return.
Account has not been taken.
It has not been taken.
The deputy governor made you understand this?
People are there. We are on ground monitoring every step of what is happening in Taraba.
You know, the question now will be, are we being fair? Let's take a look. Let's take a very critical look at this. I mean, someone had an accident. It was inadvertent. I mean, it was a miracle he survived. He was away abroad recuperating, you know, all the things. Due process was followed in Taraba State. The deputy governor became acting governor, doing things as he should do. I mean, there were things to take care of in Taraba. Remember that Taraba State also suffered the floods. And then now the governor is back. I mean, they were beginning to raise question marks as to how long the governor was going to be away for. How come he's not talking to anyone? Is it getting better? We saw visuals of the governor, Benue State governor at least. We saw that particular film of him going to greet the governor of Taraba State when in New York. And then we saw him, finally we heard that he was going to return. He didn't return in the thick of the night. He returned in the day. Yes, he was helped down a gangway by, you know, his aides. And he tried to wave. He might still have physical challenges. But we seem all the time to be questioning. We've questioned for the last 10 months. And we don't seem to have an ounce of faith in the fact that this man could actually be well. No, is that fair on the governor of Taraba State?
It's been unfair. The family has been very unfair to the man. And obviously, they really don't need, they're really not much concerned about the man's well-being, welfare, health status. More than, I'm coming back so that I can answer the questions one after the, more than what they get as the perks of office. Wow. I mean, this is a man that was just discharged from rehabilitation center. Barely 72 hours. You're pushing him to go and assume an office. The man that
he's actually that is not correct in the sense that we know that he was discharged from the hospital a while back. In fact, the visit by the governor of Benue State was to the rehabilitation center he was in New York.
Okay, so now would you allow me to answer? He was in the rehabilitation center for a while. Now I would allow you to ask questions. So then let me just answer so that we can be able to put the issue straight. The fact that the man that you saw being helped down the gangway, be fair to yourself, be sincere about this. Would you say this is a man who should go and assume an office of the governor of a state? We are not talking about an office, not even a chairman of a local government, not even a parliamentarian in the House of Assembly. Would you say that man you saw coming down from that jet, both in Abuja and in Jalingo, is fit to go and assume an office?
I didn't see him in Jalingo. I mean, I saw the Abuja clip.
Okay, I saw the Jalingo
yes, one. So I didn't see the... In fact, what we understand was that there was a tumultuous crowd welcoming him and that he wasn't allowed... He was exhausted, so he wasn't allowed to welcome... I mean, to address the crowd. But
so, I mean, now going from... Nobody... people were not actually raising too much questions when the man was away there and recuperated. Everybody understands this is what anybody needs. The accident could have happened to anybody, and it does not mean that while he's there are shortcomings on the part of the existing or the acting ESCO to the extent that the presence of the governor is urgently needed until when the issues were raised about his return. And that is when the question arises as to the extent that is he fit? If he's fit, nobody but us. He was elected to rule for 4 years. He has only spent barely 1 year plus when all this happened. So importantly, he still have about 2.5 years. Even now we would say like less than 2 years to stay in office. He is welcome. And that's when the question was asked if the process of impeachment should be commenced. And I said, no, that we are not there yet. It is important to ascertain if the man is mentally and physically fit to assume office, then that is fine and good. But we've seen a situation where this played out. Yaradua was said to be recuperating, was said to be playing football with the kids, while the man was dying on his dying bed, and then people were ruling this government. So if we've had that situation, the current situation must go extra mile to show to us that we are not having a repeat of that episode.
And I think that in fairness to the people of to the government of Taraba State, I mean to the people, to the handlers of the governor of Taraba State, they have been fair in the sense that they have not only shown visuals of while he was abroad or pictures of while he was abroad, they've also made sure that his return was in the daytime. I mean, it was something that the press people were invited. Just a moment. I mean, you might chuckle if you want to, but the press people were invited to come and see. I don't know how